I am Alexandra.
Hi, I'm Carolina, and we're from Whitestone.
And we're sisters. So on December 14th of 2004, it was us and then my family and my older sister. We were having a regular day. The next day, around 2 in the morning of December 15th, 2004, the fire happened on the second floor. My aunt that I live with now, she lived on the third floor and we lived on the fourth floor. Well, it started from a candle on the second floor because they said that it knocked on the floor and then it spread on the floor. And then, no, the owner that lived in the building, mom and kids ran out the apartment, but they didn't close the door. So if they closed the door, the fire would have stayed in that apartment and wouldn't have spread as it did. And I remember everyone running out and my dad wrapping my sister and me in a blanket, and then he was taking us down the stairs, and then my mom had my older sister, and then from there I don't remember as much.
I heard that there was firemen that came in and took us out. They put us in an ambulance and took us to the hospital.
My name's Masiello. I am 27 years old. I was born in North Carolina, but I was raised here in New York. And we got married 2 years into our relationship. It was basically within the year, like we wanted kids, no matter what. Yeah. I kind of freaked out because I couldn't believe I was pregnant, just because it took so long. Like we were trying for at least a year before it actually happened, so we thought there was something wrong and like why, weren't we getting pregnant? And then it kind of just like, poof, it happened. We weren't even trying. I actually started having symptoms before I even took a pregnancy test, and I knew like everything was off. I'm like, there's something wrong. My husband's like, no, you're not pregnant. I took pregnancy tests before that, but they were negative. When my cycle didn't come, I took a pregnancy test and lo and behold, yeah. So once 3 months came around, I started spotting. I told my husband something's wrong, so I need to go. Let's go to the hospital because we had no insurance. So it was we had to go. And then I found out that the sac was empty that was supposed to be holding the baby. Having a baby to raise and grow up and just love. I just wanted to be able to have somebody else to love besides my husband. And I love children. I'm going to be a teacher, but just to be able to have my own kids and hold a baby would be amazing. And I didn't get a chance to that.
We've been in several hospitals.
The first one we were in was Elmhurst Hospital. Then we transferred to New York Presbyterian Hospital in Manhattan in Cornwall.
We stayed in St. Mary's Hospital 8 months.
And then we were in a coma for about 3 months. 3 months. And then all I remember, there was a certain floor for a burn unit.
The first person we saw was our aunt.
When we woke up, I just saw my aunt there and I saw a lot of nurses. And I just remember crying, hysterical. But our mom she got unconscious from it, so she passed away on that day, which was December 15th, and my dad was taken to Jacobi Hospital in Bronx, and he was in a coma for 2 weeks, and he passed away on December 28th. I mean, I don't know which hospital I was in, but I do remember asking, where are my parents? I was 4, and I remember asking, where's my parents? And then a psychologist told me they had passed away from the fire, and that's, I just cried, and I kept crying, and then they had to comfort me.
There wasn't a certain day that I remember, but I was told that we were given portion by portion of how it was, and we were shown photos. We just cried.
I cried a lot. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning when we found out, because they had to wait for, the ultrasound tech. So I was sitting there for hours. I hadn't eaten. to find that out, I couldn't stop crying, and I started hyperventilating, and it was just really bad. He held my hand and tried to stay strong for me. Like, he didn't want to cry because he knew it made me worse, but he was there to support me, and he didn't know what to say. Like, he was speechless. They actually had somebody come in and talk to us. I think like a priest to, bless us and stuff. It made me feel like, that my baby was in a better place, and that he was in God's hands. Nothing more I could have done. It was really hard to accept. Like, I still didn't believe it after that. I was just thinking, like, what did I do wrong? Why me? This is my first baby. And they're like, oh, it's common to happen. This happens to a lot of first pregnancies. And I'm like, so why do other people who have first pregnancies, they still have their baby, but then I can't have mine? Didn't make sense.
With the accident, I suffered third-degree burn, so that's the worst degree. And for that, I had to. A fireman found me knocked down on the floor, conscious, and he had to rush me to the hospital. I woke up. I remember that I had to learn how to rewalk and stuff like that. I needed to learn the basics that a human being does. And from there, I did physical therapy, and it wasn't as bad. I remember family and friends coming, and they would make it more fun for us, because they wanted us to know that it's gonna be okay, and then they didn't want us to make it seem like we were gonna be in the hospital for a long time. So they would come as much as they can to help us.
So the doctors told my aunt that they thought that my corneas were burned, so I might have lost my eyesight. I have second-degree burns on 40% of my body, on my both arms and the bottom of my left leg. I only remember one thing. There was this door that was really tall. Well, I think it was for us because we were really short. It was big, and the doorknob wasn't in the middle, it was on top. And it was like a unit, so you would have to stay on the floor. So the only way you could get out is that door. So then we would try to get out a lot. When people would open it, we'd try to run for it, but we wouldn't make it.
It actually felt like I was having a baby. I had contractions like no tomorrow. I was crying on the bathroom floor, in the shower, trying to take a shower. I couldn't do anything. My husband was sleeping. I called my mom, and I was just crying on the ground. It was the worst pain I ever experienced. I never want to go through that again without a baby coming, basically saying. So we weren't able to get pregnant for a long time after that. They said you should be able to easily get pregnant after after a miscarriage, but it took us 2 years just to get pregnant again, and it was just too long. I don't understand. We think something is wrong with us, and why we can't. Why do we keep on losing babies? What's wrong with me? Well, I actually had one other miscarriage. This past time it happened, we thought it was actually going to stick. We went to the doctors, we saw the ultrasound, we saw the heartbeat and everything. We saw our baby moving in my womb. And then once we started announcing it, I was going in for my ultrasound, and they said the baby's not moving. And it kind of just we didn't believe it happened again. I didn't cry right away. I was just, I couldn't believe it happened again.
Before I had the burns I have now, I was a normal, regular person living here, and after that accident had happened, I have burns all over my body, and I learned how to deal with them. I learned people stare and stuff, but you have to adjust to that, and I learned how to be confident with myself. So
some of them stare, but some of them don't, because it's not as noticeable. Because even though people stare, just have to ignore it. I feel like they have so much more. So it's like it hurts watching them get looked at. People don't look at me, so it's just like I feel bad. That hurts a lot.
I just imagine not being in the life I am right now. Like, I wouldn't be back here in New York. I would still be living in North Carolina if I still had, you know, my child. But it's just life wouldn't have been this way. Having a house already, you know, having a kid, going to school, going to get my master's degree. Just like a lot of things have not happened because I've already lost like 2 babies. And we're actually moving to Arizona now because the second one was a big one. It feels like it's a sign that we need to get our life together and move on. It's been really hard. I'm happy, like, you know, that I'm alive and everything, but I'm not happy because I don't have my kids. Like, I deserve to have both my babies deserve to live, and I don't have either one. I imagined a better life than I have now. And right now it just feels so empty. So it feels just like losing, you know, a part of me, a part of my family. Even though they were unborn, like they were still family to me, and it still felt all the same.
From our building going to a house, well, it was different.
I know it's like my mom and my dad weren't there, so it was like hard to adjust to the new life that we were supposed to have with our aunt, but she's doing a very good job. So
I was thinking I was okay. Because I knew I still had my sisters and my aunt and my uncle.
well, if I get married, you know, like I would want them there. I want my dad, like, you know, spiritually, like to walk me down the aisle, like, you know, like how a normal dad's supposed to do. And like I want my mom there just to, you know, watch me get like married.
If I graduate college, because it shows success. And I want my parents to see that I succeed in life because I pushed myself to it despite all that happened. I love you guys. Come back home.
I miss you. And I love you.
Me and my husband, for what it's worth, it actually brought us closer together. Just, you know, because it was something we both loved, and you know, so it just like our bonding, and just give us hope to try again. He actually gave me a bracelet for faith, to have faith and, you know, carry on. Angel. I actually named them. My first angel, I named him Ethan, and the most recent one, I named him Casey. No semblance to the name, but it's just like I felt like they were both boys, and you know, they deserve names. I keep a box with everything from the hospital. We took the time to actually pick out a box for both of them. I actually had a book. I wrote in a book during all 3 months about, you know, what I went through. I took pictures, and I keep everything just locked in a box. Yeah, it's like if I need to feel something, like, you know, just to remember, I go and look at the box. It's more for myself than anyone else. My last resort is adopting, but, you know, I know in my heart I'm meant to have a baby. I love them so much. I would never wish anything horrible to happen to them. I just wish that I could have them here with me. I know they're in a better place. I know, I have they're my guardian angels, and they're with like my grandma there. My grandma's there taking care of them, and my mother-in-law recently passed away, so I wished her well and told her to take care of my angels for me. They're all my guardian angels.
It's like ups and downs. The downs, like, obviously we're not gonna have like parents to like grow with and like talk about our problems with, and like watch, have them to watch us grow to like the people that they want us to be. Ups, I feel like, everything happens for a reason, and I feel like God said like it's their time to go.
Well, I have family that helps me do it. Like when I go through struggles, they're always there.
I'm like glad that I'm like living with my aunt because she did a lot of things for us, and if I didn't have like the life right now, I would have never like hung out with my cousins as much as I did. I wouldn't have met my friends that I've met now, and I wouldn't have gone to the school I've gone now.
It was kind of hard, but at the same time, it was comforting. Because I know that our aunt was always there. Wow, what a hard life. Even though this all happened, we're still grateful. It shows that as much as things happen in life, you have to keep going.